I thought the joke would be, guys, just so you know, somebody pulls a gun, it's good luck.
Means you guys
They're never getting divorced.
You guys teaching
And it rains.
This is the equivalent of a bird pooping on you in Italy.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Want to give a shout out to our sponsor, JamesAllen.com. JamesAllen.com is the online destination for designing a customized engagement ring that he or she will love more easily than you ever thought possible, and saving up to 50% compared to traditional stores.
Get 25% off your order when you go to JamesAllen.com and use the code DPT. That's code DPT at JamesAllen.com for 25% off.
JamesAllen.com.
Hey, Townies, welcome to another episode of Dumb People Town. Population U.
Population Lee.
Jamie Lee, welcome to the show.
Oh, so good to be
Jamie.
back, you guys.
Love
Do
to
people
see you.
want to put a Curtis on the end of your
Jamie
name?
Lee Curtis.
Probably.
God damn
You don't
them.
need it.
F
Use
them.
JL.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that.
She's
yeah.
having a resurgence, though. Can we just say?
Oh, you could have an
and
album.
I have a bone to pick.
Yeah.
So I was really appreciating how she was kind of sliding back.
Right. You're like, how
and
dare
letting
you?
Jamie Lee come to the fore. I'm just
Can
kidding.
you ride some of
She's
that
amazing.
jet stream, that Jamie Lee Curtis
Jamie Lee-
jet stream?
You could have an album just called Courtesy, and it's Jamie Lee Courtesy. But don't put it that way. But it's just called Courtesy, and see, and
it's just you doing
And then when people like sign off, they're like, "Thanks again for so much, guys." Jamie Lee Courtesy is the album.
Oh my god.
Or
yeah.
curtsy?
I put my middle name on my Instagram because I was like, I was just like, oh, the search results are so
Yeah. I
conflated
think
with
that's smart.
Jamie Lee Curtis. And then I was like, is that douchey? Now I'm like a 3-name.
What is your middle name?
Amanda.
Jamie
I have the
Amanda
most
Lee.
80s name, Jamie Amanda.
Amanda Lee.
You're
Like, we
all
get
of,
it.
All
We
of your
get
names
it.
are like
All
a
girls
Boston
band.
song.
Not Gen Z. We get it.
Yeah, there's no like
there's no question.
Jamies being born right now. No
Nah.
Jennifers. No,
No.
Debbies. There's no Debbie.
Crystal. Oh, I loved a Crystal.
Lisa?
Yeah.
Has anyone naming their kid Lisa these
I
days?
feel like I will say Lisa feels quite timeless, but
It does.
I will say I don't know any new Lisas.
I feel like mid '80s to mid '90s is where Jenna really had her heyday.
Jenna.
A lot of your Jennas.
Krista.
Yeah.
So before we jump into the stories, and we got dumb stories, which is why we invited you here. We got to break this stuff down, and thank God you're here. We have to reminisce and talk just briefly about one of our favorite bits that we ever did involving you and with us.
What was it for?
It was for the VH1. Was it the O Awards, or
yeah, it was
their-
like an all-night, 24-hour thing that we were hosting.
Yes or no? Is VH1 still a channel?
Yes.
I'm gonna
You know that
say
for sure?
No.
Maybe it's just has an online presence, and I might just be on Facebook.
It also might completely be up and running.
Right. It could be
But
thriving.
also, it could be
It
a
could honestly
Facebook
go
channel.
either. It could be done, or it could be the best it's ever been. I
Right.
really wouldn't know the
Right.
difference.
Like a demo that we are so far away from
Yeah.
is not watching it every
We're just
day.
out of the loop.
70
Yes.
to 80-year-olds.
And it's an us thing, not a them thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are
we were doing these
VH1
award show
heyday.
in Times Square at the TRL studios, and
Whoa.
Jay and I were hosting like
You guys have
24
done
hours.
Do we do all 24
it was a 24 hour.
We were hosting the
Those
whole thing.
takeovers.
Oh,
back
I
then
think
were
I remember
cool.
this.
This was
like
They were cool.
2012, 2013.
Back when it was cool.
It was right after we had met. I think I remember you guys going to do
So
this.
we went there, and we met the Jonas Brothers and wrote a bit with
Matt
them.
Questlove did a bit with him and Andrew WK. We did a bit with Janine. We did a bit with
Jody Lennon was so funny. She did this bit, but the bit we did with Jamie that we will always remember in just like the most fun way is Paris Hilton was humongous back then, and we thought, how funny would it be if Jamie played the daughter of the Hyatts, like the Hyatt hotels?
This is already great. What was your energy? What was your like rank to yourself?
That's a great question. What was it?
The bit
I don't
was that
even
your
remember.
Like, were you
parents
entitled
wanted-
and thought you were great,
Yeah.
or were you
She
low
was-
status?
her parents wanted her to slut it up more
To
To
drum
try to
up business
compete.
for
Yes.
Hyatt.
Because
Yes,
they're
that's
killing them in terms of like the Paris Hilton, like
this was helping the Hilton brand, and so they're like, "We're our daughters."
you got to get out there and slut it up, and you were a
Yes.
little like, I don't know if that's really what I want to
Oh,
do.
good.
And
Yeah, now it's coming back to me. That's right. That's right.
I don't know if that's what I really want. I don't know if that's who I am, but my parents said it and I have to do it. And being a member of the Hyatt family, and we're like, can you tell us any Hyatt specials? I can tell you about some of the specials that I can give you. You were so great.
God.
You were so funny.
Wait, do we have like video of this? I need
know.
to see it. Where can we see it?
I wish.
Like maybe
Well, after
Super
VH1
8
burned down,
footage.
like
I
they lost a
know.
lot.
Did
They
VH1
lost.
burn down? It was so funny, and you were so great.
Because we had only known you as a stand-up, and we didn't know we loved what you were doing. We were just like, I hope she can.
I hope she can pull this off. And then we were in it, and we're like,
Oh my God,
having
she's-
so much fun in the middle of this thing. You forget that you're doing a bit. That's what we always said about at midnight. There were moments we'd be doing it, and we're like, forgot there was an audience, forgot that we were shooting a TV show. We're
We've done
like,
that with
The best
live like
feeling.
we've done live Dumb People Towns.
You forget that the audience is out there.
Yeah.
Well, listen, there's a lot of dumb out in this world, Jamie. Are you ready to help us break it down and try and like make sense of it?
Or fun of it.
I've been ready my whole life.
God damn you.
I love it.
Jay,
I
you
love
up?
it.
I got the first story.
Okay,
This
here.
is sent in by Matthew Friedman at
Not your average Matt. I love this guy. So we have a bunch of people that
It's
send
not
us stories.
AVG, right?
No, not a. Yeah.
Oh, he sent in.
Yeah, so our
Okay,
friend,
okay,
so we
okay.
have
We haven't
dummy.
said this in a couple
have
episodes.
du-
Tell these people.
So
man.
dumb boots on the ground. What you do is, if you're still on X, we are too, or Twitter.
You've gone over to calling
I'll call it Twitter.
I'm calling it. Hey, it's the Sears Tower and it's fucking Twitter.
Fine, Twitter.
Ooh, I had a little bit of a chill when you just casually called it X.
So look at my reaction.
Whoa.
Right, you're like if someone calls it X, they're paying for a blue check
I
mark.
was trying. No, I was trying because I don't know if
Gust of
people even
cold
know what
wind
Twitter is.
swept
Anyway.
through the
Felt
studio.
very weird.
Can someone get Jamie a coat? God damn it.
So anyway, on Threads.
So on
Okay.
no. So what you do is it's hashtag dumb people town.
I wonder. We could try Threads.
I don't know.
But
Hashtag
everybody's on what you like to call.
We have
X.
an order here in like hashtag dumb people town at Daniel Van Kirk at Sklar Brothers, and it lets us know who sent in the story first. And we're trying to sometimes like as we put these stories together, like we're so many months back now, we're still culling through all of them. Thank you to those who send them in, and then we'll let you know and we'll read your name on the show. And so not your average
Like
man.
Matthew Friedman.
Okay.
All right. This headline is just fabulous.
Okay.
Indian official suspended after he drains reservoir to retrieve phone he dropped while taking selfie.
What a dick
Wow.
I mean, if you've got the power,
to drain a reservoir.
it's like Goldblum. You were so preoccupied with whether or not you could, you never asked yourself whether or not you should.
Jeff
This guy
Goldblum?
was like, from Jurassic Park.
okay, that's
But like, yeah.
About from the
also, he
big
just
show.
says that casually
Which
while
is like a
playing jazz.
metaphor for AI, by the way. What he
True.
just
Yeah,
said.
that is true. So the guy obviously holds a position within the city to drain a reservoir because he wants his phone.
he was taking a selfie of him at the
By
reservoir.
the time you drain it,
Then
it's done.
it's so done. Like you can't put it on rice from
Put it
there.
on
No,
rice.
the amount of
Spin
rice
at
you
the
would need for a
bottom of
reservoir
it.
worth
Put this
of water.
guy
You
on
can't even
rice.
put it on basmati rice.
You can't.
This is India,
no,
goddammit.
Yeah.
We all know
Jasmine
the
rice.
streets of New York. I said this the first time I went to New York. It does not matter how long. It could be 2 weeks since it's rained. There is water in the gutter in New York. No, I don't. It does not. I don't care where you are. There will be water in the gutter. It will. If you drop a phone, even in one of those puddles, gutter water, it's a 50-50.
So there's
If it's
shit
gonna-
on his phone that he doesn't want someone to find out about, right? That's what
My
he's...
mind didn't even go there, but 100%.
That is 100%.
That's
like, I
the
need
only
that phone.
reason. You need to know it's not
Right.
recoverable.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, because there was definitely sort of a blank spot where I was like, but why would you?
Just buy a new phone.
Yeah.
No.
But then
But
I was like,
also-
maybe I don't know enough about like iPhone value, like
SIM
maybe
cards?
the bones. Yes, the bones of it. Maybe there's you
could
Something
change-
resell
recoverable.
resell. Yes, exactly.
It's like
But all
this-
right,
But
so
yeah, no, it's definitely salacious.
New Delhi.
It's
This
just
is-
one nude of him. But he's that scared.
He's like sitting on all. I don't know what he does. This government official
He's a government official. That's all it says in India.
sitting on a stack of government papers. Like
Yeah,
Oh my
Costanza-ing it or
Right.
Burt Reynolds-ing it.
So he has been suspended from his job after
No
he
shit.
ordered.
It's the reservoir, the water we might need.
yeah, that like in India, where I'm
guar-
assuming they need it.
I guarantee someone's like, and why are we doing this?
Right.
And that person got fired.
Right. He ordered
Yeah.
a water reservoir to be drained so he could retrieve his smartphone, which dumb move.
Not
for
very
a
smart.
smartphone.
Not very smart.
Also, if there is anything incriminating on it, which I love this, which is why I'm going to go with it. This is a great way to tell everybody there's how important your phone. No one knows it's in the reservoir except you.
There is definitely like a brazenness to believing that people know where your phone is at all
Or care.
or care.
Because we all, it's either us or comics we're hanging around in a restaurant or whatever, where someone who doesn't deal with people who have this comedy disease will be like, don't do that. And you'll say, no one here knows us. No one here's going to remember this. Who cares?
Right.
This guy needs to be taken down a peg.
Yes.
Several pegs.
But so
At all the pegs.
So here's the detail that I find interesting. Okay. So he ordered them to drain the register so he could retrieve his smartphone, which he had dropped while taking a selfie. Who needs to know that that's why while he was taking a selfie?
Well,
just dropped in the water.
Yeah,
we hit a bump. I dropped
it.
in the water. No one
How
needs to
about
know
I
that
was
that's
like taking
why.
pictures of the reservoir just to make sure levels were good. Like you couldn't make it a work thing.
I was doing a city for the city. Well, how is
Also-
this for the city?
I also think it shows like his lack of sort of like an understanding of technology, because there's a timer on that thing. You should if you need to get a photo, you set it up.
Right.
You
That's
set it up. You go
right.
3 seconds or 10 seconds.
Right.
That's
You choose your
right.
seconds, and then you take the photo. So it also makes him look double dumb because he
Dumb.
can't.
There's no 10 seconds longer than waiting for your phone timer to go on.
That is such.
That is
You could do
so
so
true.
much.
And no slower with the 3 seconds.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Or faster. Sorry,
Yeah,
I meant
no,
faster.
faster.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Where I'm like,
100%.
okay, that definitely wasn't 3.
And so you're like,
relax.
and they're like, fine, you know what? I'm done fucking with 3 because you're not
We're
giving
going
me no
to
time.
10.
We're going to
we're
10.
going to
And
10.
then during 10,
And
you
then
read
10
a
is an
book
hour.
and go through a relationship.
No,
It's like the wave planet on Interstellar. Like years are
seriously.
passing.
Oh yeah, time is a flat circle on the 10.
And you're like, I don't even want this picture anymore.
No.
All right.
The 3 seconds, like 1, 2, 3.
Also,
Like,
can I
what?
say his
No.
excuse for what he's doing? A little bit of taming of the shrew. Thou doth protest too much. If you're telling me a lot about why you can't come
What
into
I
work today
done.
or what happened, it's
Absolutely.
because it's something else in
Yes,
the
what
way.
had
that's where the guilt.
happened-
That's the guiltiness.
Yeah, he's guilty. All right. Food inspector, maybe that's his government job.
I would assume.
Rajesh Vishwas
Okay.
dropped
Love
his
that name.
Samsung smartphone.
Already.
Let it go.
Okay.
The
Already.
Galaxy
All right.
Note, let it go.
Although there is people, I guarantee there are townies even before and definitely now going, those are the most
Those are the best.
waterproof phones.
Right.
Like, because we'll never know. That's the thing too. You can do whatever you want to a Samsung. It can make you a cake. I will never know.
Can I tell
I'm
you though?
It's iPhone.
So we went on this like crazy hike around the Mont Blanc with our buddy Mark and his friend. He has a bunch of
Right.
friends who work at Google, and one of them had a Google Pixel thing.
Like the Google
it
phone.
took the best pictures.
Oh my
I've
God! Have you
seen,
ever been at a
ever,
concert
ever.
and seen someone with a great Samsung? Or whatever? It is unreal. The photos that they're
Unbelievable.
taking.
I've never seen.
Yeah.
I've never seen. Okay.
amazing?
All right, so maybe he wanted it. For
Maybe
that.
he needed his Samsung.
In the Kaharkata Dam in the central Indian state
Nailed
of Chhattisgarh.
You got this. You got this.
Good.
You did your
Chhattisgarh.
best. You did your best.
The Times of India.
Don't turn around. Well, the phone's in Chhattisgarh.
All right, the Times of India newspaper reported this.
So it's a
Times
news story.
of India.
Feels big.
It's big.
Feels like a big.
Vishwas first asked local divers local divers
my
to jump
God.
into the reservoir to find his device.
Stop.
So now he's making other people
You're
do
getting the
his.
same people who rescued a team of Thai soccer players
Right. Yes.
to find your phone.
Right. Thank
Sounds
you.
like should have been
Something's
Vish
off.
wasn't.
Yeah, thank you.
There we
the,
go.
the kids in the cave.
Yes.
This is what he claimed.
Those literally the most unbelievable documentary I've ever seen. Unbelievable.
Okay, well I
my
have to
God.
ask you then. You've watched Last Breath,
Yes.
the documentary on Netflix.
Oh,
That.
I watched it twice.
Dude, I tell people all the time.
What
I go,
is
I go,
Last
I go.
Breath?
I want you to watch it, and not just because I want you to watch it, because I want you. This is the way I'm going to get you to call me, because as soon as it's over,
You have to talk. You have to talk about it.
oh my God,
It's all
You
you'll
need to
think
talk
about.
about. You need to break it
All right,
down.
I'm going to see. You told me to watch the Avalanche one from
the
up
Buried
in-
Alive.
that was
Buried
just
Alive?
buried about the
Buried.
Lake Tahoe avalanche in 1983. It's on Amazon.
You gotta
great.
wonderful.
Thank
You gotta buy it.
Okay,
You have to
great.
buy it.
My-
you have to buy it. Okay, then I don't
But
care.
it'll be worth it.
She's like, then I don't give a
yeah,
shit.
that's right.
I don't give a shit
Sorry,
about
I
these
can't afford
people.
$1.
It is.
What happened to
I
them? They
do
got
know that
buried in
feeling.
Tahoe. I think I know
yeah,
that.
I think I learned a lot
Tell you
from
what.
the title there. So
Tell you what, Jamie, because I care about you. When you order your Amazon stuff, tell them to bring it 2 days later. They'll give you enough credit to where eventually you'll just get it for free.
is that right?
Do you guys ever do that?
No.
Amazon will tell you
This is like a
like
really
we
good hack.
free 2-day delivery, and let's say that's a Friday, and they'll go, or we can deliver Saturday and give you a $150 digital credit, and those digital credits are used towards anything you would rent.
$1.50 digital
Usually,
credit.
sometimes they're more, but or even $1, but they'll go towards anything you rent on Amazon to watch.
Oh, I'm never getting my shit delivered on time ever again.
yeah, yeah, it's just
that's
free.
great to know.
Yeah.
So my
Pro
son got Amazon gift cards for like his 10th birthday.
Yeah.
And I've used those to buy things for myself all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally like,
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't listen to this
It
podcast.
comes out in the wash.
But it does make me
Absolutely.
feel so good that you've seen Last Breath. So many people haven't seen it.
I haven't
Just
seen
that
it.
opening, the opening
Dude,
credits.
I
mean,
love
there's
Last Breath
nothing
You.
like it.
Yeah.
Last breath you. That's last. All right. After initial efforts to retrieve his smartphone. Oh, this is why. He said claimed it contained sensitive government data.
Oh, really?
So we're up to 2 excuses.
Dick pics. That's dick pics.
Translation:
right?
You had an affair with someone in the other
In the
office.
government.
Yeah.
After initial efforts to retrieve his smartphone failed, he asked for the reservoir to be emptied using diesel pumps.
What?
This guy.
That's somehow, I don't know what that means, but it makes it sound worse.
Terrible. You're pumping
Yeah,
over.
it sounds like just incredibly environmentally
Right.
irresponsible.
Horrible, like the worst just for his phone.
Terrible.
Over the next 3 days, how many liters of water were pumped out of the reservoir?
Well, you live by one. What's your average res?
I mean, I want to say 50 million liters of water.
That's a good guess.
Give us a
This is
guess.
where I don't know any sort of liter.
51.
Million?
I love that. I'm gonna go. Oh my god, I'll go 10 million.
10 million liters. All right, get your answers.
Crazy. I probably would have just said 7 buckets if Randy hadn't gone so.
Shout it to your ham radios. He got rid of more than 2 million liters of water. You were right to be in the millions.
Oh, millions.
It's right to be in the
okay.
million, but I was a little
Which
high
is-
up there.
Which is enough to irrigate how many acres of land? Now that we're getting into this,
More
let's just do
goddamn
this.
ACT
But
question.
yeah, I
here.
want you guys to know. We want you to come out of this podcast with knowledge.
2
and be smart.
million liters of water could irrigate
How many acres?
50 acres. Or no, 5 acres of land.
No way
50
more.
acres, 50 acres, 50
dude, you were
acres.
in thousands, and I'm saying that to be nice. I'm gonna go 4,000 acres.
Yeah. I'm going to go higher just because I'm
Why not? 'Cause
feeling
you're feeling
fun.
sassy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say 7.
7,000. It could irrigate at least, so you guys could be right, 1,500 acres.
There you
of
go.
land.
Okay.
All right, fine.
During India's scorching summer, local media reported. So he's
He
doing
did
this
it
in a
summertime,
bad time.
in a drought.
Yeah, because you don't give a shit. I don't care when you're draining the water. You don't give a shit.
I
Right.
don't have
This
the
guy
video.
does not care about it.
I should have gotten this video. I'm sorry I didn't track it down.
We'll link it in the YouTube.
In videos that
we
went
can.
viral on social media, Aaron, if you can find these videos and link it, Vishwas
if not, guys, just Google it.
is seen sitting under a red umbrella as diesel pumps
No.
run to drain water from the reservoir.
What you doing,
That
bud?
image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sipping a pina colada.
Yeah, like with
You're
the-
doing a good job.
Yeah.
Guys, you missed a spot over there.
Yeah, have you found it yet? He told local media that the water in the reservoir was unusable for irrigation.
Oh, so this is where it becomes
lied.
a
Water
thing.
cannot be unusable for irrigation.
irrigation.
For drinking, maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
non-potable water.
Irrigation,
Right.
It's just water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he had received permission from a senior official to
Not
drink.
true.
Which senior official?
The
Who told
one
you?
over there?
Dave? There is no Dave in that office. Why are you saying Dave? That's not even
Well, you don't know
Indian
the
name.
office. Do you know which
But
office?
this is
I'm
a
talking
common problem. People just don't verify.
No,
Okay.
they don't check.
This is where Dumb People Town. Ready?
Oh, this is where?
This is where it is.
This is our. We've already been there, Jamie. but
Draining
here
a
we go.
reservoir to get your phone you
The
dropped in?
smartphone was eventually retrieved,
And it did not work.
but wouldn't even start because it was waterlogged.
Thank you.
Yes!
Thank
No
you.
Wow.
shit.
Wow.
Authorities later suspended Vishwas after he was
Just suspended?
widely criticized
Yes.
for wasting water resources. The video of him went viral, and so people
course.
got mad. India is one of the most water-stressed countries, and extreme temperatures has led to severe water scarcity, causing crops losses. This could be the death of not just people, but years of crops, so he could get his smartphone.
This is where
Which
I
was
wish.
broken.
This is what. This,
his broken phone.
this is
that
what
no
doesn't
one
happen
cared
enough.
about.
But this is where like Samsung goes, hey guys, you know what? We're bringing in like they don't have to do it all, but like
We'll refill the
yes. And we're like, it's not on us. But you know,
Because he had a
we're-
Samsung.
we caught a stray in this
And
because
can we use
it was
this
our
as
phone.
a commercial?
Can we use this?
Go
how much
ahead.
you-
and
You're
then
gonna give
someone-
millions of people water. Fucking stream it live.
And then
I
Dan
don't care.
Apple comes in and we're like, we're giving your 4-year-olds jobs. So
Love
in
it.
your face.
Well, I didn't like that end of that sentence, but I like them doing something good. You got me.
All right, there's story number 1. There you go. I think Rand's got story number 2. When we come back, we'll plug what we're doing. We'll let you know how you can support Jamie Lee. And this is Dumb People Town. We're off and running with the Dumb.
Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back.
So nice to have you here. Jamie Lee is with us. The great Jamie Lee is with us. We're going to find out what she's got going on. But first,
dumb
we
news
should
blotter.
let you guys know what's happening with us. We're doing a show that Jamie's going to be a part of.
Oh, you're going to do it? Have you done Tag It before?
No.
It's so fun. So Jamie,
They gave me one that made the album.
Yes.
On stage in Austin.
You do your set. Jay and I are off to the side while you're doing your set. Not interrupting at all. You do your set. Jay and I are writing little
tags for the jokes that you're doing. Then we
come
keep
on
you
stage afterwards, and we're like, okay, we love this bit. Here's a bunch of
The green room moment
I love
happens on
that.
stage.
Yeah, we pitch it to you on stage, and you can take them with you. And
It's
people.
a writer's room. It's the green
That's
room.
so fun.
Right? It's so fun. So
Yeah, and useful. I'll
Useful, the
take tags.
most. You'll
I'll
take
take
'em.
tags all day.
It's also crazy because it's the only show where you know at least 2 of the comics are watching your set.
It's true.
That's so true.
you're like, you stayed for that whole show?
we stay for the whole show.
No, we are watching.
It is great
your
when
set.
you do have the time and you go, I'm just going to fucking hang.
Can I tell
That is
you,
just-
I like to get to shows early. I don't know when this anxiety will go away, but I, for some reason, need to like see other people go up
Yes.
to be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that's how you do
Same way.
stand up. So I get to the improv like I want to
Or
say
like-
20 minutes before
Yeah.
it even starts sometimes.
if I
and I'm
watch
just
like
watching
2
the whole
or
show.
3 sets before me, what you guys are doing in this show, tags of like places I would go with them almost like gets me like I'm already in step.
Yeah, it
Same.
Plus with the
produces-
audience, nothing makes me cringe more than when I've seen 2 comics talk to the guy in the red shirt and then a third comic do it, and the audience knows this guy's been talked to a lot. Because the biggest fear, at least for me, everybody wants to know, the audience knowing something the comic doesn't know. And when you see that, that's another great reason to get there early. If you're going to do crowd work or talk to people, it's like, this guy's already been
So
tapped,
you know what
like,
we're gonna do? We're gonna
3
put you up
times.
later in the show just so you can see how
I
it works
do
and get a
love
feel
that.
for that. Okay.
But no, like people
I
like
love being later in a lineup.
like Mark Norman came and saw the show, did the set, and then he stayed and watched the rest of the show because it ends up being kind of fun to try and guess where we're going to jump in and what we're going to do. And
What a fun. I sometimes theme shows like I get nervous. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be good at the game
Same.
they're trying to play.
We
but
spin
that
a
sounds
wheel and then
great.
you've got to like,
Yeah.
But the fun of this show is you just come up and do your set. You just do what you do, and we're on the spot really for the whole night. It's
cool.
on us, and but it's fun.
Great
Really
exercise, great thing. So we're doing that at the Belly Room on the 13th of September. You'll be on that, and then the 18th we're doing it at Largo. Fortune Feimster, Patton Oswalt, and 2 huge guests that we
Nice.
are not announcing, but we will just tell you they
You're
are
announcing
big.
you should be there.
They are big, and we're announcing you should be there for that. Usually the Belly Room show
sells out.
sells out, and it's so much fun. And let's sell this Largo one out. Coming back to do the Belly Room again on October 18th. We're doing a show at the Bourbon Room. Supersklars.com. Plus, we got some road stuff in the fall. Jamie, where can people see you, and how can they support you and do all the things?
Oh, well, you can follow me on Instagram
At Jamie Amanda Lee.
I was gonna say it's at really Jamie Lee.
Oh, nice.
And I had to do that because someone made a fake me account when I was on Girl Code. Yeah, like pretending to be me, captioning, being like, taking my photos off of my Instagram and putting on theirs, and they got tons of followers. It was very stressful.
That is
Screw
stressful
you.
when you're
It
like,
was
man, you're
horrible.
better at this than I am.
Yeah,
Stole
I was
from
like,
me.
oh, you're actually good at this. Maybe I should just like meet you and turn over my social media to you.
Hire them to
But then
do
they had to. But the only way to get that account shut down, and you can't take it over. You have to just shut it down. So I was like, where do those the anyways? Point is, it's at really Jamie Lee, and my I have a link on there to my upcoming tour dates.
Great. Come see her live. She's going to be so good, and maybe she'll use some of the tags we give her on the 13th. Should we jump into the second story?
let's do it.
Sent in by our good buddy, Jake Groney, at Jake
Thanks, Jake.
Groney.
Thanks, buddy.
You ready for this? This is fun. This is always enjoyable.
Well, we'll find out, I bet.
Here we go.
Your pitch makes me feel like
Wedding venue owner points gun at Florida newlyweds during reception. Get out.
That's someone who didn't hold their peace.
Yeah,
what could happen?
I guess.
Or they are holding their
Yeah,
peace.
yeah.
But they didn't understand.
Holding a dip.
Forever hold your peace is PEACE.
Ooh,
And they
what
didn't realize.
happened
PIEC.
during. I have not
did say
planned a
Florida,
wedding.
right?
Oh, I said Florida.
I have not planned a wedding. But what could happen? I just officiated one.
I did too.
Really?
You
This
did?
past weekend. How
Nice.
funny. Yeah.
Were you funny?
I was pretty funny.
Of course
you were.
But I also was like, you have to.
You have to be serious because
I
this
opened
is the
with a
real
joke.
wedding.
It's a balance.
They had a lot of things they wanted said, which I took as a like, oh, this just makes it easier for
Great.
me.
Yeah, it's
But I opened with a joke and then stuck with their whole thing. And
Oh man, that's so
but-
fun to have a comedian
but to be
do it.
to go to the gun during the reception.
Venue.
What happened?
Like, have you
Dan?
even fully settled
What do you
up
think
yet?
happened? Yeah,
I'll
so
tell you what
in a
happened.
wedding, have you settled
I'll
up?
tell you, I'll tell you exactly what
Right.
happened.
I'm curious to hear if you think if you know what's
I know
happened. This is
exactly
good
what
predict-
happened.
Hit me.
What?
Meth.
Okay.
The owner of the thing did a whole load of meth
All right.
and got paranoid.
This is where you're like, we got this place for so cheap, hun. And then you're
Right.
like,
You find out
And you're
why.
like, oh,
This
but you
is
do
why.
have to deal with Carol.
Right. You get what
It's
you
a
pay.
great deal. Everything's included.
but she's bringing
No,
her
it's a he.
alligator.
No, it's a he.
She's a bit much, some would say.
All right. A Florida couple's marriage got off to a rocky start when the owner of their reception venue pointed a gun at them and ordered everyone to get out after a row over the music.
I knew it. I was going to say music.
Oh, my gosh.
I was going to say music because, well, I don't know about Florida, but in California, having gotten married,
Yes.
that anything outdoors has to be shut down
At a
by
certain
10
time.
p.m. They're
Yeah, that's right.
very strict.
Are you ready for a great music complaint story from
Let's hear it.
from my wedding?
And ours.
No, from my wedding though. You don't even know this story. This is great. Someone came up to us from who I guess the wedding planner. Someone said,
Sure, the Franc.
"Hey, someone is complaining about the loudness of the music at this thing, and it wasn't past our time or anything." And I'm like, "Who the fuck is complaining about the loudness of the music?" And they're like, "That woman over there." And I was like, "Oh, that's my wife's stepmom."
That is worth it.
I
He
was
did-
like, "Pa-pow!"
for those listening, he did a little kick.
I did a
He did a little high kick after
kick.
that, and
A
I think it's
front kick.
warranted. That was great.
So
That's a
10
great
p.m. is
story.
right. So it was Sunday night when we were doing our wedding, or Sunday night. I can't remember. I think it was Sunday. We were doing our wedding, and at 10 p.m. and they wanted to go just a little bit longer, but where we did it on kind of in Malibu area where we had at the Bel Air Bay Club where we did it. There were complaints up the road from someone who lived up the road, and that person who was complaining about it, Michael Richards.
Really?
And he never suffered anything after that.
No. His career was smooth sailing.
How did
from
you
there.
know? It was just because.
How
But
did
it could it be content of
He
music or
ran
just
in through the
time?
door and he went quickly through the door and he was like,
"Yay!" All right. Insane video posted by Jonathan Campo, the DJ and cousin of the bride.
Okay.
Shows, this is my favorite Steve Martin movie, Cousin of the Bride. Shows the irate.
100% watch that
I would
movie.
watch that. I don't even.
How
know
is that
I
it.
not
know,
been
and I
made?
know that
It's already my favorite movie. Actually, I've decided.
and I know that it goes straight to streaming. That does not
Straight to
affect
streaming.
quality expectation for me.
Father of the Bride would probably go straight to streaming
Nowadays.
Oh, 100%.
which is horrifying.
Also
Anyways.
cheaper by the dozen. Straight to streaming.
Yeah.
Godfather of the Bride is so fucking good.
Oh my god, it's literally
And
perfect.
cousin
First one
of
was
the
great.
bride shows the irate man waving a weapon and shouting at the terrified guest Thursday. Can you imagine you show up at this thing and like,
I hope we haven't paid, because if we haven't settled up for the venue
my
yet,
God.
we're
No,
not
you're
paying now.
You're suing his ass. Night at Cielo Farms in Southwest Ranches. Okay, so it's the
Okay.
farmland.
So those you should be able to have
late. What are you going to wake up
have
the
a
pigs?
freaking rave in the
Yeah.
middle of
Thank
the.
you.
Go loud, go hard.
Campo said he begins to wave at everybody at the party, telling them all to get out. Get out, get out. Campo told WPLG.
But he's not saying about the time. He's saying about music.
about the music, adding that the mayhem erupted during the last song of the night. But I think it's time.
Oh,
The DJ told WSVN.
Do you guys think it was WAP? True story. At the wedding I officiated,
WAP.
I waited for all the olds to leave.
Get 'em
Yeah.
out.
I go up to the DJ
Like, play WAP.
and I go.
You say you want to see this place go nuts?
I hand him some cash.
Of course you did.
And I go,
Play this.
just play WAP,
Please.
right? And
Which
because in our
feels
friend
like
group,
a
in our
slur.
friend group, we play it every time we're at a bar. It is, we love it.
Dan.
I will play WAP, and he goes, "I'm sorry,"
man, I can't.
and I go, buddy, play WAP. He goes, he was. I could tell he was a good dude. He opens up the papers he has. It says, "Do not
Do
play."
not.
All caps highlighted. The only song is
WAP.
WAP.
Yep.
And I took a picture of it and sent it to our friend group, and people lost their minds.
I mean, it's the greatest
And so he goes, I got to give you your money back. And I said, no, you're doing a great
take
job.
it
Keep
back.
it. You don't take a
For
fucking
showing
tip back.
me that?
Once you've handed it, you don't fucking take a
Yeah,
tip
you
back.
can't. Yeah.
What if you
It's classy
you
of
gave him
you.
a 20? You said, just give me 10.
Oh my god.
He's like,
You don't
I have
just
no
make change.
change. He's like, well, go get some.
You denying my request has
What I
never
should
made
have said.
My WAP,
I'm still
my
giving
WAP
you
went
10.
dry when you
Yeah.
told me that you weren't going to play my song, so give me my money back.
Hey, buddy, macaroni in a pot. all
My
right?
WAP
But
is-
I should have been like, fine, turn everything off, give me the mic,
WAP.
I'll sing it. I also,
Dan.
at a wedding, also in Wisconsin, other best friend, I got drunk, and they were doing a deal where the DJ was having a song. It was like Sweet Caroline, and he was like, people like singing
Oh,
along.
sure.
And so he gets to me, and I belligerently, but not belligerently like real, like putting it on.
Yes,
I
fake.
grab kind of his wrist and hand over his hand, and I just go, I have a right to see my children.
That's a good bit.
The next day,
It's such a good bit. You brought up a custody dispute
Yes.
in the middle of someone's
Sweaty.
reception.
Dan, that
In
is
the middle of
so
Sweet Caroline. Everyone else is bop, bop, bop.
I have a right
my
to see my
God.
Amanda, who married one of my best friends, Bradford, the next day,
dumbest
Amanda goes, I saw my mom this morning because we're at all like a brunch deal.
Right.
And she goes, so, the best man's going through some sort of real bad divorce, huh? There was a whole table of olds that were like,
love it.
that guy's going through it.
We saw a moment.
I wait for the olds to leave.
Wait for the olds to leave, and then I do that.
But that sentence tells an entire story. I have a
does.
right to see my
So
children.
here's what I love. Dan, I'm picturing Dan because he's not at a show. He doesn't have to do stand up. He's
Right.
not like out in that, but he's just at a wedding, which is it's a secure.
That joke was for you.
That joke
Oh,
is
I
for
know.
you. And I love that you're just like, I'm just going to get drunk because I'm here with friends. I'm
Right.
just
I was
going to
the
get.
best man. I
Why
was-
not?
it was over.
That means you were in your own zone, which I love. All right.
I
so
bet you killed your best man speech. You also, so you're on a bit of a high.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I'm
and
kind of
every-
the king of the wedding.
I can do
honestly.
anything now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like
I'm kind of
the aunts and
untouchable.
uncles can be like, hey, like they have something to talk to
Right,
you
right,
about.
right.
Like when
They
you
love
do a cruise ship.
So mayhem erupted during the last song that night. DJ told WSVN that a worker at the venue ordered him to turn off the music over fears of noise complaints, then spilled a drink on his equipment, even though he had turned the music down.
So that might have been an accident. The person could have been drunk.
By this-
The
once-
worker. Why does the worker have a drink? What's he doing?
Yeah, what is he
By
doing?
this time, the entire
Listen,
wedding.
I'm the head dishwasher here. You got
You guys are fucking great.
Why is
You
he
guys
doing-
are fucking great, and I can
Yeah.
tell you're in love.
It's a happy couple.
Yeah, that's what it is. We get
I
to
see a
so
lot of
many
love
weddings
between you.
here, and I looked at you two, and I was like, "You guys have sex, and you're in love." And I could
This
tell.
guy who keeps gesticulating with a full drink. Like, I've been here for 5 years and I don't
People
care.
like,
I come from all the way over there. Like, wait.
It's like a
Why
mar-
don't you
it's a-
wave the other hand?
it's like
That's
the-
your drink hand.
It's the fullest martini ever. Olives
the
are flying
worst,
out.
the worst possible glass that allows
Yeah,
the
yeah,
most
yeah.
slosh.
A champagne glass
Oh,
that's really
ice,
wide.
like
God.
ice is coming out of the drink. That's how wildly he's throwing it around.
Who drank this?
It's like in Drop Dead Gorgeous when the beer is just like fused to her hand.
yes.
he's like, this is the hand I use. I'm sorry, it just happens to have a drink in it.
Gesticulating hand.
So by this time, the entire wedding party is aware of what's going on. Campo told the outlet. Moments later, the gun-wielding man, whom Campo identified as the owner of the venue, showed up and went ballistic. Get out! Don't make me! Get out! The man in the yellow shirt is heard saying to a terrifying footage as people flee.
If this man in the yellow shirt, if you added a gun to Curious George and made instead of man in the yellow hat, man in the yellow shirt with a gun who just kept threatening
Crazy.
people,
With a hat.
that's a better book and a better
So
movie.
much
Also, what a fucking idiot. As with most things, no gun is needed.
None.
The good time of a wedding it hangs so precariously on everybody being in on it. Like,
Behave.
the bar is close enough to the dance floor, all that shit. That if someone just walks in and starts yelling, get out, it's going to ruin it enough anyway. You don't need the gun.
Yeah, the gun is overkill.
Yes. Yeah, you just come in and be
Just
the guy who starts yelling, get the fuck
ruins
out.
a wedding.
Yeah.
You have lots
Very
of power.
easy to do.
Yeah. It's a very clear job.
Dan, I have an idea for you right now. I'm going to speak it out.
Is it the
into
book
existence.
again?
A book.
Well,
called-
these guys. Remember, you told me that you wanted me to write a wedding book called "I'll Dance with Your Aunt."
Yeah, I'll dance to the end. How to make
How to make every wedding the best wedding ever.
You should write
Dan,
that
you
book.
should write
You know
that
I
book
wrote
as
a wedding book.
I know you
guys.
did.
You did?
Yeah,
I know
this
you
is.
did.
But I feel like Dan's is a good follow-up. Maybe we
Let's
should go in
follow
on
up
it
to the
together.
wedding
Okay.
guest.
I'll do
This
it
is
in
how
a
to be the best
heartbeat.
wedding guest
So
ever.
It is
your
such
book
a
was about
good-
getting married, right?
Yeah, and like planning a wedding.
That's
and-
right.
Yeah, but I feel like for it to be from the guest perspective is very
How to be the
cool.
best wedding guest ever.
It's very
Dan,
cool.
you could write that book in probably 4 weeks. You would.
I am a good wedding guest.
No, but you know all the tricks of the trade and
Everything
the thing
you just said,
Oh,
every
you-
story you have. Wait, what's the name of your book so people can get it?
It's called Wediculous. It's
Mm-hmm.
W-E. I have to spell it because it's such a weird word, but it's basically
W-E-D,
ridiculous, but
Amanda.
with W-E-D-D. That's it.
WED Amanda.
Amanda Lee. No, it's called
W-E-D.
Wediculous. ridiculous. And yes, I stand by it. I read it again recently, and I was like, it holds up. I wrote it in 2016.
Of course,
Still
because
kicking.
you're a phenomenal writer
Oh,
and
thanks.
so funny.
Thank you.
All right, Camp said the man just started brandishing a gun everywhere at everybody. He put it in my uncle. Now, what if it wasn't a gun, it was his penis? Sure. He put it in my uncle's face, put it at my cousin who got married, the bride, put it at her head. Again, way funnier if it's his penis.
a dick, yeah.
Waved it at her husband's head. Way funnier if it's his penis.
The waving of.
The
is
waving
funny,
of.
Yes.
He recounted.
There's one uncle at this wedding that is unfazed by a gun being put
For
in his
sure.
face.
Just keeps
He
drinking.
probably knows him.
Yeah,
He's like,
100%.
oh, that's my buddy.
Oh,
He
Dale,
does this-
put
yeah.
it away.
We're doing this again?
Yeah.
He's like Kobe when Matt Barnes tried to throw a ball in his
Yeah.
face. Just
Yes,
Why am I
that's a
bracing-
Perfect analogy.
Thank you.
Jason.
Why
Circle
am I
gets a
bracing
square.
myself to get shot? All I was doing was DJing my cousin's wedding and trying to give her the last dance, the DJ added.
Yeah.
One
Also,
woman
I
is,
would never recommend that.
Yeah, one
My
woman
rule is if you're the one getting married, you leave 45 minutes before the
Right.
reception's over.
Thank you, Dan. Put
Party
it in the-
lives in your mind forever. You
put it
never
in the
saw the
book.
lights come up.
put it in the book. Put it in the book.
That
Put it in the
is
book.
a hot tip. I really like
That's
that.
right. One woman is her telling the unhinged man she just wanted to grab her purse. Honey, leave it. We'll get it later.
My gun's in there.
This sort of brings up a larger thing because I feel like I had this. Have you ever stayed in an Airbnb when like the owner is on the property?
Yes.
And they kind
but
of don't
once.
disclose that in advance, but they're kind of like we're just over there in the side house, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. I guess that's supposed to be a comfort because they're like, yeah, anything you need, we're right here, and I'm always a little like,
Yes.
I don't.
And
like,
they drop
if I'm
us something
paying,
like-
you go, and I feel like that's kind of what's happening here. Is like this person probably
Should
is
not have
told
been
to
on
leave.
property.
Yes.
There's someone else managing the wedding venue aspect of
Yes.
his property.
Yes.
And then it's like
He's stuck around.
Yeah, and
Yes.
he's stuck around.
This happens in Wisconsin. There are literally Wisconsin bars that are people's living rooms.
Oh, my
And so they'll get to a
God.
point where they're like, "You guys all got to go," and you're like, "It's 9:45," but they're like, "We're done." But yes, exactly. And and the Airbnb people will always drop a line like, "We'll let you know if we need milk." And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to see you again.
No.
I'm living in a fake world where this is my house.
pretending you don't
Absolutely.
exist.
Yeah, I'm pretending I own
I
this
paid
place.
for you not to be here.
So
That's right.
wedding guest, and this is, I've never heard this name ever in my entire life. You should use this as your Instagram name.
Okay.
Aixa, Aixa Figueroa. Called 911.
Ooh, that's a Carmen Sandiego level name.
Aixa was Asia, maybe that's Asia.
Oh, maybe.
Asia Figueroa.
Asia.
I was terrified. I wasn't sure if I was going to be going home without a family member. she
Sure,
told
yeah.
me.
I mean, this is,
That's
we can't forget, this would be
horrible.
nightmare fuel.
Campo described the incident on Instagram where he posted the video. He said the bride rented the venue until what time? What time did the bride rent the venue
1
until?
a.m.
1 a.m. What do you think?
I want the bride to say to something. So Dan, if Dan was at this wedding, would make the joke. Gun to your head, was this the best wedding you've ever been to?
No,
in your
actually,
life?
you know what I was going to say? I thought the joke would be, guys, just so you know, somebody pulls a gun, it's good luck.
Means you guys
They're
start
never
getting.
getting divorced.
You guys should not.
And it
See,
rained.
this is the equivalent of a bird pooping on you in Italy.
And it rained. You guys are going to be married forever.
You guys should, that means your honeymoon's going to be great.
Yeah. Your kids are going to turn out great.
Gonna have a fruitful. You have a fruitful future.
Be fruitful and multiply. Hey, wait. So, what time did you say?
go one.
One.
I mean,
what do you
one is a
say?
good call.
I'm going to say like 11.
That's
Okay,
a
what
good
do you
guess.
think?
Can I just ask a question? We
Sure.
did not disclose what time this happened.
No,
we haven't.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna
'Cause that's
say
the next question I have.
I'm gonna even say midnight. I'll say midnight.
Midnight.
But I say book till 11.
Book till 11.
Yeah.
Get your answers in, Townies, because she had rented the venue until
Is it 10 p.m.?
11:30.
Okay.
So right in between you guys.
Okay, in between
now,
us. All right.
Now,
What an odd time.
but the
I know.
worker ordered the event shut down around what time?
11.
You say 11. It's yours. What do you think?
It's 10 p.m. And I will say this. I don't like an early ending reception. But if you are in this position, 11:30 is a weird time because then people go, should we just go to bed? It's almost midnight.
Yeah.
If you end at 10, everyone will go to another
After
bar.
party.
And that's
Yes.
where they'll get really crazy
Right.
and they won't fuck
That's
up
right.
the wedding.
11:30 is an
and then
odd
they
time.
won't. Yeah.
So
and
you
then they
think
won't
this-
wake-
Dan, put it
wake
in the
daddy.
book.
Put it in the book.
You
Dan.
Well, I wrote a fucking book under peer pressure, but Jamie helped, so it actually was really good. That's how I got
Jamie
this house.
writes the foreword to your
Jamie
book.
writes a forward.
ghostwrite.
Who's your book agent? Can we work on
I
this?
really, it is
Jamie
such a
writes
good
the
idea.
forward to this book.
I'll
Her
dance
book.
with your aunt. Okay.
Dance with your
That's a
aunt.
great title.
I'll dance with your aunt. How to be the best wedding
best
guest
guest
ever.
ever.
Dan.
Okay.
That's the subtitle.
That's great.
All right.
We're gonna write
Jamie
this.
and I will talk about
So
it.
we were going to talk
okay.
about
Okay.
Mike about
I'm
this.
going
what time?
10 o'clock is when he
He showed
Okay,
up and said,
I-
turn it down. What do you
Well, wait,
think?
then
Well,
the
I gotta
DJ
say-
is doing last song.
I know, that's the part where I'm like, ugh.
Okay.
Anyways, but because I feel like this is just a weird town that loves things to be on the 30s. I'm gonna say a 10:30.
10:30. Okay, town that loves it on the 30s. Weather on the 30s.
What did you say?
I said 11.
They're on the 30s.
I said 11.
Last call on the 30s.
Get your answers in, townies, because the worker ordered the event to be shut down at 10:50 p.m.
Okay.
Ooh, so you.
What is
But
happening?
in my hour, but you're close.
I was
Why
close.
do they hate whole numbers?
Dude, you got 40
I
more
was
minutes.
closest.
After an altercation, he returned with an armed man. Before I knew, I was staring down the barrel of his gun, and at that moment,
Oh, man,
when I
what an
saw his
idiot.
eyes, I was prepared to be killed and was coming to terms that my children were about to lose their
Okay,
dad.
you
for no
went a
reason.
little deep.
What
We get
the
it. We get it.
hell?
We get it.
On
Wow,
Reddit,
he's
he
trying
wrote that on
to set the
Instagram.
case to put this guy
I agree
away.
with him, but
I know.
you
I'm
frosted
like,
the cake twice.
DJ, you're a DJ. I feel like you can't make that serious.
You're a DJ. Your life doesn't mean anything anyway.
The DJ's like, what was going through your mind? I felt like I was gonna die. Bam, 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 bam. Like he keeps hitting the horn.
Right, like I feel like you can't make that serious a statement and then reveal your DJ name.
I feel
Said
like my
DJ
life
Scribble.
was just remixed.
Right.
I
I was about to crossfade off this plan.
He just starts playing "I Will Survive."
That is great.
So I thought my kids were never going to have a father, said DJ Scribble Scrabble.
Yeah. That's great. Is that really his name?
No.
Put that in the
I was
book.
saying,
Put
like,
that in the book. Put
you
that in the book.
can't then do your DJ name.
oh my god.
Man shows up with a gun at the wedding before the end,
Right.
and I said, and I stared my own mortality in life, and I wicked told him to get out. Anyway,
Said DJ Sunpower.
yeah, right. Said DJ Soulflower. The man with the gun has been identified as Miguel Rodriguez Albizu. How old? Is
Not only is
Miguel?
this wrong, he's in breach of contract.
How old is Miguel Rodriguez Albizu?
Do you want to go first, Tig, or last?
The man holding the gun at the end.
I'm gonna say 60s.
Pick a year.
Okay, 62.
Right.
54.
47.
Get your answers in, townies,
I really
because
hope it's old and deranged and not young and deranged.
58 years old.
Oh,
Guys,
nice.
right there. Okay.
Split us.
So state records cited by the Miami Herald identify Albizu as the corporate officer of Cielo Farms Nursery, which has the same Volunteer Road address as the court list says the man's home. So he lives where the nursery is.
Called it.
Christian Sergio Raffart, that's a hilarious
Great name.
was also arrested in connection with the incident and charged with battery and resisting arrest. He's probably the guy who poured the drink on the machine. It just went from being like an amazing event to the one you will remember for the rest of your life to an event that you're really going to remember for the rest of your life for the wrong reasons.
And they'll
Can't put
never get another wedding there, nor should they.
No.
So
The
you're done. dude.
You've finished the business then.
The owner of the Cielo Nursery Farms told the outlet that they would consult with their attorney before commenting. Dude, you're done.
Right.
Cielo
and
Farms.
even when you sell it, the next owners have to call it New Owners Nursery.
Right.
Like to just
Or
get
not
everybody.
even call it something else.
Call it-
But people, you're the distancing.
You have to distance so hard.
Yeah, no one's going to ever.
Isn't that crazy?
And the smallest thing that can ruin a wedding, and I'm going to say this straight to camera.
it in the book.
Like a cash bar. The smallest thing that can ruin a wedding.
is.
I'm just saying there's so
Someone
little
holding a gun.
things.
Agreed.
Than this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is an enormous
Right.
thing. This is
Right.
an enormous thing that can ruin like a
Dude,
marriage.
our friend, we were at our friend's wedding and his brother did the best man speech and it was too long.
Too
and
long
not funny.
and also like not funny and
terrible.
really personal. And like we came
You
outside
can't
and
roast in
No.
a.
our friend just like was
You
ripping his brother a new ass.
can't roast.
Stop.
Yeah.
You
And-
can't roast.
With no jokes.
No, well, so our friend's brother got up and spoke for way too long. It was
Oh, I
not
see what
funny.
you're saying.
And then
And then our
we
friend-
walked
And your
outside
friend.
and our friend was like,
My fucking
What are you doing?
asshole
What are you
brother.
doing?
This is what I
dumb-
tell.
Wow,
This is what
wow.
I've told people who are best men and
Put it
maid
in
of
the
honors.
book. Put it
Stop.
in the book.
If you roast, you've immediately lost 75% of the audience.
Thank you.
Because half the people do not know you and don't know him. So they have no context for whether or not this is funny or actually mean.
should be in
and
the
then
book.
the people who do know you and him, at least half of them wish you weren't doing this.
Yeah.
So you're going for 25% of the audience, and those people are too drunk. They're the bad people.
Well, listen.
Never roast.
Here, you're going to write
If
this
you're going to
book.
roast, you have to have a roast consultant. You can't just free roast.
Can't
If you're
free
not- if
roast.
that's
You
not
can't-
your-
And you
if
can
that's
only
not
roast
your-
things that have
Free
happened
roasting.
that day.
That's
because
right.
Everybody
you
knows
cannot,
it.
and yeah, you cannot go too far back. Because I was at a wedding where someone was roasting, and they were literally talking about the groom masturbating at summer camp.
Already out. I'm already out.
In front of,
no,
and I was
no.
like,
The olds are there.
the olds are there, first of all.
Right.
And second of all, I was like, why are we... Also, what does this have to do with the bride? I'm sorry. Bring it back.
Right.
It's about them, and she is part of them.
Oh,
Yeah,
nothing
so
better
if-
than a
Don't
maid of
just-
honor or best man who starts with, they're probably going to wish they didn't ask me to do this.
Oh, God.
They already do.
Right.
Yeah.
Jamie's like, where's the guy with the gun now?
Yeah.
Bring him
Yeah,
out here.
he's actually not so bad when you need him.
We need him.
Where is he when you need him?
Yeah.
All right, that is story number 2 down the books. Daniel's got the third story. Hang on.
Awesome.
Wow.
And we'll get to story number 3. We'll tell you what Dan's doing, how to support
Dan,
him.
give us a little taste, just a little taste of what we're going to hear in stories.
The law is stepping into social problems, but in a fun way.
Okay, great. I like it. I love when the law gets fun. Jamie Lee is with us. Buy her hilarious wedding book, which is so fun.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous, yeah.
Ridiculous.
And I have a show on Netflix that's based on the book called The Wedding Coach.
Oh, shit, yeah. Come on. Jamie Lee, everybody. We'll be right back and do the last segment together. This is so much fun. It's Dumb People Town.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
So I've been through the engagement process.
Yes, you
Randy
have.
has as well.
Both of you have done it once.
We've done it once. And I will say that when thinking about what that experience was, going into the store, you have someone who's
You
there.
probably don't know anything.
You don't know anything, and they're like upselling you all the time, all the way. You kind of lose your agency when you're in the store because they're like, if you care, you want to go from this to this, and you want to go from this
And
to
if
this.
you get lucky, you've got somebody who's like, oh, I got a guy. But even then,
No,
it's like, I don't know anything.
You're like,
Most
we
people
like
don't know where to
this.
start.
They're like, we like this, and
Yeah.
then they're like, no, this is what you should get. And before you know it, you're in this whole like sort of battle with this person at the store who's trying to upsell you into some other thing. You lose your ability to be creative.
So what should people do to avoid all of that?
They need to go to jamesallen.com
agree.
where you take control of the
That's
creative
right.
process.
JamesAllen.com is the online destination for designing a customized engagement ring that she or he'll love more easily than you ever thought. It is so easy, Dan. You've been
Yeah.
on it. You see it.
Do you know what the thing is?
Let me say this. Saving
go
up to
ahead.
15% compared to traditional store. 50%.
So this is what I
compared
like
to
about them,
traditional
right?
stores.
When you go in and you go to the site, you literally can go, do you want to go by style? Do you want to
Yep.
go by metal?
Yep.
Do you want to go by customizing it from scratch from your own? Do you want to start with a setting, a diamond, lab created, start with a gemstone? Like you go through the process of maybe
Very
something that
easy.
you already know and then get so many options. You could choose from over 200,000 certified conflict-free diamonds.
That's Amazing. great.
They've got
Important.
both earth created and lab created. It's just the absolute
It's the fastest growing online retailer of engagement rings and diamond jewelry. They've already been a part of over 200,000 engagements around the world.
Yep.
Yours could be next, Jay. They have a deal. I want to tell our fans about this right now.
Yep.
You get 25% off your order when you go to jamesallen.com and use the code what, Jay?
DPT.
That's right. That's the code DPT at jamesallen.com for 25% off. Dan, what's the name?
JamesAllen.com. Code DPT.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the
Before we get to the final story, Daniel, I know you have a very big thing coming up on 11/11. Tell
do.
people about that and the ramp up to
I
it.
am shooting my special and simultaneously recording it as my next album. It's in Chicago, 11/11, the Lincoln Lodge, 2 shows. The night before, if you want to make the commute, I'm in my hometown. Those shows, all of what I'm about to say, those and Rochelle, in my hometown of Illinois, are going to sell out as well.
They will.
Everything's at danielvankirk.com. I'm headlining 10,000 Laughs in Minneapolis.
Great
I'm headlining
festival.
Yuck Fest in Boston.
Great.
I'll be at Hilarities in Cleveland. I'll be at the White Rabbit in Louisville.
Yeah.
Everything's at danielvankirk.com. There's about 20 cities up there between mid-September. I'm doing a week in Vegas on the
love
Strip.
Dude, that's so great.
Come on,
So
everybody.
fun, isn't it?
danielvankirk.com. And if you know WordPress, I'll take the
Help Dan out with his WordPress.
You can't
thing,
see all
for
my
God's
dates
sake.
on the mobile version, and that's a
Dude, I'm with you.
definite problem.
Get it
All right, you
fixed,
want to do this
WordPress.
story?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sent in by Double Dippin', Jake Groney.
Thanks,
at
buddy.
Jake Groney.
He's on a roll.
Okay. Here's the headline. Lawmaker. This could be on like your guys' set list. You'd all be able to do 5 minutes. Lawmaker wants to punish ghosting.
I
I'm on
am all
board.
for that.
I think that's genius.
100%.
Like,
100%.
I honestly don't even need to hear the rest of the story.
Yep.
I actually just support
We agree.
it fully. and
All
I
three of
think
us agree,
that's a
Dan.
really
all you got to do is be
wonderful
like
platform.
text, date next to text, like chain, ongoing, text, time and date next text, then nothingness,
Right,
nothing.
right.
After 2 weeks, there's a fine involved.
You
I
get
think that's
fined?
great.
Community service. You
And
have to
by the
clean up
way,
our highway.
I say that as someone who accidentally ghosts people all the time because I'm horrible at remembering to text back. And people I love.
But if you had a punishment,
But if
So
I
you're
had
not
a
even talking
punishment,
about relationships.
I
like
actually
dating.
well, first of all, I was talking about relationships,
Okay.
but then I realized it would even help me if there was a fine because I would step up my game to make sure that I'm replying to
Jamie.
all the texts.
Yeah.
You can say, edit this out.
What?
How many unread texts do you have on your phone?
Dan, it's quite a lot. It's really
Open it up.
sad.
Like we were on
my phone is
127.
over there.
Her phone's over there.
No,
She's never
it's just
phoned.
more like
60s?
people think I'm mad at them because I didn't respond. It's that
Can I
kind of
just
thing.
say for
I've
the
heard that a
record,
lot.
we
Do you have unread texts?
Has this happened to you
Nope.
through me?
I'm just
Have
gonna
I
say
done that to you?
nope.
Okay.
For the record, we have wanted Jamie to be on the show. We knew that Jamie was going to be on our Tag It show coming up, and I was going to ask her there, do you want to come and do Dumb People Town? Because I
we're in
saw her
person.
face to face, in
Yeah.
person, get a date, figure it
Right.
out right there. I texted her yesterday and was
Yeah.
like, hey, we'd love to have you on the show. I was going to ask you in person, but
Right.
do you want to come? Texted me right back, said, yes, I can do it. And she's sitting
Well,
right
I
here.
mean, to be
so
fair-
this is the follow
But,
through.
Ran, to be
Let's give her credit, give her flowers.
Okay, that
fair-
actually does feel good because you're right. I did step
You
it up
did right
yesterday.
away.
And I
Came
am
right
proud of
back.
But
myself.
also, you have to text back a few times in order to even ghost. So you've been
Right.
set up
That
to
is
be
true.
ghosted.
I
That's
mean, when
true.
I set up
so
a
get
lunch
ready,
for us
strap
to hang
in.
out, she's gonna ghost me. She will
Absolutely.
No
never
Mendocino
respond.
You'll be
Fonts for
sitting
you.
at Sweet
God
Grin
damn-
all
Sweet
alone.
Grin's all by myself.
I also
God damn.
pronounced it Sweet Grin.
Sweet Grin. I'll be sitting at Tender Grins.
Tender
grins.
grins, sweat grins. I mean, so
I
many
love my
grins.
sweat Grins.
I mean, look, it is awkward,
you
and nobody likes to get it. But just sending someone, had a good time. I just don't think this is right for me. Take care. I know that's not like enough flowers,
Dude,
but
we have
just
been
send
ghosted.
it.
It is
so
better
hard.
than nothing.
Oh, I want
100%.
your
Because
pronunciation.
then once you send that, you
Of
don't
what?
have to respond to anything they send you.
Sweet
Dan, I want her pronunciation of sweet jeans.
Sweet jeans? Oh, sweet jeans.
Sweet-
Guys, have you been to
Sweet
Sweet
Grins.
Jeans?
See, to be the new Josh Safdie was my.
What is it?
It's my muse.
Oh, my
It's just
muse.
after
Oh,
muse.
oh.
It's an uncut
Yeah.
jam.
Uncut Jam.
Yeah, Joms.
Uncut
Sweet
Joms.
Joms.
So
Sweet Joms.
sweet
Sweat
grinds.
The sweat of grins.
My favorite movie was The Grand Mile.
Have you guys seen Fried Grand Tomatoes?
Fried Grand Tomatoes.
Okay, here we
The
go.
Grand Mile. The Grand
I
Mile.
could have said that in my normal voice. Still works. Dating these days feels impossible. Ask anyone. And breaking up is so hard for some that ghosting, which for anybody who needs this, they wrote it here, ignoring someone calls and texts when you've lost interest,
Awful.
has become the norm. But a
Yep.
politician in the Philippines is trying to make the act of ghosting
course.
an emotional offense.
Thank you, Manny Pacquiao.
I'm just reading what they wrote here, which is very like op-edy. Sorry, fellow young adults. Our days, but it's everyone. I have people in their 60s. I'm like, text me back.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, fellow young adults. Our days of ignoring our problems until they go away might be numbered. Representative Arnolfo Tevez Jr., ATJ,
He's doing something about it.
of the
He probably
Nationalist
campaigned on this.
People's Coalition has proposed a bill in the Republic of the Philippines House of Representatives that could criminalize the act of ghosting or cutting off online communication with another person.
Well, he proposed the bill, and then they said, "What are you going to do?"
No,
and he never
absent.
got back.
He was
to it.
absent for the
He
voting.
never showed up for the
He
vote.
was absent for the
Bro,
voting.
where are you?
And then when they all go to leave, he barges in and he goes, "See,
See how bad it feels?
It really stinks.
I was proving a point.
The bill titled "An Act Declaring Ghosting as an Emotional Offense." We can tighten that up.
Yeah, come
Also,
on.
emotional offense is like pretty cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
Can you imagine texting that to people? You've
You've
given me
committed
an
an emotional
How about
offense.
Jamie Lee's new album, Jamie Lee, Emotional Offender?
offense.
you go.
Emotional offender.
Emotional Offender.
And then my title, my little like whatever
Subtitle.
the subtitle would be "Big Tits, Bad Attitude."
I have that shirt.
Underneath that, it would be like, the grass is always greener.
Yeah, there you go.
Greener.
It just keeps going. It's like the chart at the eye doctor. Just which line can you
It's
read?
so
How
small.
small? Yeah.
You need a mag.
One
You
news-
have to keep doing this to open it up to read the bottom. All right.
One News Philippines likens ghosting to emotional cruelty, arguing that ghosting is a form of spite. I don't know that it doesn't
Well,
always be spite.
No, but
Sometimes
it
it
is-
just be
it's just
indifference,
mean.
apathy. It's
Yeah,
cruel.
it's so
It's
mean.
cruel.
It's insensitive.
That develops feelings of rejection and neglect. Ghosting has adverse effects on the mental state of the one being ghosted.
Agreed.
And although some people will earn it. And his or her emotional state. That would be interesting if they were like, well, we'll review the communication and find out if you actually deserve to be ghosted. There's actually no offense here.
Right.
They have to do that, right? Like, you can't just blanket statement.
Nope. You got to do both sides.
Speaking for the shittier side of the two sexes traditionally.
Sure.
Just on murder rate alone.
Some dudes deserve
a lot of men deserve it.
Look, there aren't a lot of moms that go out for a pack of cigarettes and never come back. That's the ultimate
That's
ghosting.
true.
Right.
That is
They
true.
go out for
That's the
diapers.
classic.
Yeah, classic.
It has adverse effects on his or her emotional state and is adversely affected as he or she will be constantly thinking of the welfare or the unexplained reasons of the one who.
I'm
At
getting
this
a
point,
vibe.
This guy got
going.
ghosted big
Well,
time.
see, what's funny, at first that's where my mind went. Then I go, what if he is like the shoulder that has been leaned on
lot.
too
Sick of
hard by by a
Yes.
close friend who refuses to go to
Yes.
therapy, using him as the landing pad, and he's just done. And
Fine.
he's like, you cannot ghost, or you're gonna be like my stupid friend who
He's
I don't want to be
everybody's.
friends
He's
with
18.
anymore.
He's everybody's amateur therapist.
Yeah.
So that
The
he
worst.
can then say, take it up with the law to his
Take
friend.
it up with the
Yeah.
law.
You have a legal leg to stand on
Yeah,
right
you
now.
do.
Yeah, I'm helping you.
Yeah.
So you don't have to bother me with
Yes,
this
you
shit
don't
anymore.
have to call me anymore.
Okay,
The
I did it.
ambiguity,
All right.
the ambiguity, which I'm proud of myself for saying, with ghosting is that there is no real closure between the parties concerned, and as such, it can be likened to emotional cruelty and should be punished as an emotional offense because of the trauma it causes the ghosted party,
agree.
unless
Yes.
they deserved it.
That's right.
The bill was initially proposed on June 30th, so this is a while back. Somebody could give us an update.
Please.
And was read in the House of Representatives on July 27th.
Actually, it was left on red at the House of Representatives.
that's horrible.
They left it on red? That's so
They
awful.
did. They left on red.
It's currently pending the government's health committee and is unclear whether or not it will actually pass forward. The person writes in parentheses, I bet it won't.
Really?
You didn't want to parenthetical.
Wow. That's injecting something in there.
The bill also doesn't stipulate what the penalty for ghosting will be and how the potential law could be enforced. Well, then, come on, you haven't even fully written
Yeah, I
this.
feel like this is.
We need to enforce.
But if anybody wants to find out any of our boots on the ground, tell us.
I want to find out, but what would the penalty? What would a good penalty be before we get out of here?
I like the fine.
I'd say a fine.
Just a little, yeah.
If you can prove it in court.
It should be like a parking ticket fine,
Yes,
like
but it has
I think it's a parking
$67.
ticket. That's
Exactly.
right.
It
That's
has to be
right.
a number that annoys
I get
you.
so
62
mad at
bucks.
that.
that you can afford, but you hate that
And
you
you're
have
like,
to
but
pay.
so-
And you know that it doubles in 2 months.
Yep.
So, but wait. Parking fine goes to the government. So does the full amount of money go to the person you've ghosted?
Yes.
Yes.
So the government doesn't get any piece.
Maybe the government can take, because they were the ones who implemented it. So I say they can take 10%, and then the rest.
My
goes to
first
the
thought was
victim.
that it should go to some sort of service that helps people like victims of domestic abuse.
Sure.
But then I thought the people would ghost and feel good about it, being like, well, at least I'm donating, so fuck it, I'll ghost this person.
Right. You
You
need
can't
more-
go to something. It has to go to
yes.
something shitty that they're
What
like.
if it
Yes.
went to refilling reservoirs where government officials
all
threw their
the
phones
way
into?
around?
Love it. We brought it back. We brought
Or
it
they
back.
have to. You have to send the. You have to personally send the person you ghosted through Venmo, so it has to send them a message.
Yeah.
Oh my
So now you are
God.
in this
You're now
chain
connected to
again,
them again.
and then you have to check and see if they got it. You have that's part of
Or
the
else the fine doubles.
Or the fine doubles.
And if you got ghosted and you respond with, got the money, thank you, what have you been up to? You have to send the money back to them. You can't
Right, you can't reinitiate.
Yes.
No, it is closed between
Yep,
the two
it
of
is
you.
closed.
Can't even
Yes.
write. It feels good to see.
No.
to hear from you.
Awesome to hear from you. I read about your aunt.
In
I'm
fact,
sorry.
I'll even go a step further and say that if they reach out, the person who ghosted you, don't respond. Like, give it back to them a little bit.
you have to.
Yeah.
At least,
I think
not
it's
for a
not
few
an
days.
emotional. You're not an emotional offender if you were the one who initially had.
That's right.
Then you're just being responsible for your own well-being.
But you are allowed to like start typing something, so on their phone
see
they'll
the
see the
dots.
three
They'll
dots
see the
and then
dots
delete
for
it, and then-
days.
Days.
I think they see the dots
Days.
for days. Dots for days.
Dots for
Dots for
days
days.
is
And-
underneath
Yeah.
the.
Can we create an app?
So
Okay.
as friends, dots for days.
So we
And
need to
you
create
share
screens.
location, but it's not actually yours, and so they think that they know what you're up to, and you're living a great life.
Can we create some app or something that sends
It's like a
three
filter.
dots that are moving, like that you're gonna think?
that'd be so
And you
cool.
just do that and then disappear.
It allows you to disappear. It's
How has no one created that?
and instead of 3 dots, it's 3 little ghost eyes. Like from
Or
Pac-Man.
it goes for extra money. It will send something, and within 2 seconds, undo send, so that the person just sees Daniel Van Kirk unsent a message.
Yeah, oh God, that's
the
that's even
worst.
worse. That's even
because
me.
you
That is so good.
because you then have
loves
to
it.
I love
figure
it.
out
I'm
a
living
cool
for this
way to be like,
conversation.
what were you saying?
Rhea, what did you send that you then
Nothing.
had to recant?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Doesn't matter.
Nothing, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Or no, they don't respond to that.
Yeah. So good, kid. I love it.
I really love how we're like trying to put an end to ghosting, but then we're fully on board
Creating
with
other ways.
revenge and pettiness.
That's right.
That is cool. That's cool.
in
That's
our
why
scenario,
that's
it's deserved. In our
yes,
scenario.
exactly.
Yeah, everybody deserves
It's retaliation.
It
We're
is
allowed to do that.
jail was
mindful
guilty.
retaliation. I'll make it a flowery term the
By
way
the way,
emotional offender
That would
was.
be a great book too. Mindful
You too.
retaliation.
We've already written so many.
Yeah,
You guys are doing this book together.
Yeah, and you guys are lit agents.
I'm gonna do
Yes.
this. I love it.
Yeah.
Jamie
We'll write
Lee,
the
thank you
foreword.
so much. I love having you on this show. You always make everything great that you do.
Love you
all
guys.
right?
This was so fun.
And oh shit, we got to get back to work. We'll see you.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.